Hello and welcome to vlog 38. I don't know if you noticed on our Facebook this week, but we tried to get a little bit more personal and delve into our community a bit more. And we ended the week by asking all of our socials if you had any questions for an Ask Me Anything episode, which is what this is. So against my better judgment, let's do this. Right, trial by fire. So yesterday and today when answers came in, I made a point of writing them on this bit of card. There's quite a few. So that I would kind of forget them and come to them fresh today, which on reflection was a terrible idea. But that is what it is. I wanted to come to them fresh. I will do all the questions for sure. Some of them are nice, some of them are, I'll make them family friendly when I read them out and give an answer. I didn't want to skip any. And it's all about getting to know me and me getting to know you guys. And that's the point of your community as we move forward. So with no further ado, should we just do this? I'm not going to cut this. This is just going to be one continuous bit of video. So, oh God. Right, okay. So Dane asks, Dane obviously on Twitter. So Dane runs the Bearded Gentleman. Who is on your bucket list to join the band? Well, that's easy. The Cat Empire are top of it. I would love to get the Cat Empire involved. I even have a tattoo of them on my arm. Hey, Editor Andy here. I just realised I didn't actually show you anything in that clip. So for the benefit of those that actually care. Not them, I mean Lyrica, there's music as language of us all, something I believe in pretty heavily, and yeah, Cat Empire. That question has come up a couple of times actually. We've got two from Gary Williams, who's a rad fan of ours. What's your favourite song on the album, and what band would you want to be on the next one that you haven't got involved yet? I don't want to give the same answer, so I really want to get the Suicide Machines involved. I love them. They really shaped the way I played kind of ska-core stuff, and I really like fast ska. And I actually reached out to Jay, the singer, to see if he'd be up for the first one, and he kind of was. And then he asked about the charities, never really came back to me. I mean, I would imagine he was busy doing their album. So I'd love to get the next time. That'd be really cool. So Jay, if you're watching this, hit us up. We'd love to do it. What's my favourite song on the album? Oh man, that's a hard one. That is a hard one. Lyrically, I really like Something's Out because it kind of touches on anxiety and depression and all sorts of things, and it's sort of Paul's journey is in those lyrics. And the third verse, it was something slightly different, and he had some different lyrics, and I kind of pushed him to go deeper with them. And we kind of chatted. I think we wrote them together in the same room, kind of like, in the same conversation, and was trying to get him to focus on like things that happened to him along the lines of loss and anxiety. And that third verse is really striking, and I really like that. It's really good. But favourite song in general, if it's not just lyrically, probably Change the World, because it's really pretty. The strings and stuff, it's just a massive production. And then it completely ruins it all at the end with a nice bit of fast punk, which is great fun. Karen Whiten, who runs KS Customs, you should check out her custom spiders. They're really cool. Are you ready for all the weird ass cues you're going to get? Well, yeah, definitely. There's definitely some. This is one I really like. Chris Hines. So Chris used to play in a band called Roblox. And we used to tour together a lot. They're a really random band, kind of comedy ska punk. Chris is just hilarious anyway. And we always used to have fun with them. But he's asked me two things. One, best and worst Roblox memory. There's a lot of those. And Tell Me the Story of George, which I really like. So best and worst Roblox memory, probably both combined. They used to do this thing called the Wiggle Pit, and they'd get the crowd to lie on their backs, hands and feet in the air, and during one of the songs just go crazy. And everyone that hadn't done it was stood around the kind of, the semicircle around the crowd, were encouraged to jump on them. And it was always carnage, absolute carnage, but friendly carnage. But our old sax player was in it once when we played in Swansea, and he got his rib broken, which was fun. Tell Me the Story of George. So for those of you who don't know, on the front cover of the album is my cat George. He was 24 when he passed away a couple of years ago now. I think it's going to be May, 2 years this year. And he was a rescue. I was back here, and he'd been sort of abandoned by some people that were his family, and I found him in November one night. I'd been told he was sleeping in the grass. It was like -2, and it was raining this night. I was coming back from the pub, and I looked in this grass that apparently he was sleeping in, and there he was. And I just gave him a little stroke, and he was purring. He always used to come up and say hello. He's a very sociable cat, but very bedraggled. And I brought him in, and he slept on my face for the night. And I went off the next day, I think, to work, whatever I was doing, and I came back, and he was on the doorstep. And I went and chatted to the people who were supposed to be his owners, and they were like, oh yeah, he just never comes in the house, and they were basically leaving his food out, and other cats were eating it in the rain, and they were not paying attention to him. He was very unloved at this point. You could see it in his health, and yeah, took him in, and actually I moved at the time somewhere else so I could have a house with a studio in it at the time, and he came with us, became part of the family. He's like a little bestie. And apparently they just knocked on the door about a year later and said, oh, we just wondered if we could say bye to George, we're moving. And someone here was like, have you not noticed that he's not been here for 6 months? Oh no, we haven't really noticed. And that was that. Just a quick note on George before we get any comments. It was pretty well known in the road that he was neglected and had basically become feral through neglect. So we basically gave him a home and lots of love. Did not steal him. So that's the story of George. I could go into so much detail on George. Always pay attention to the animals around you and give them love, they need it. Tobin Hill, is there an instrument you would never consider to be a part of the music? If so, which? No, I want all of the instruments. All of them. The more global and weird, the better. I've actually got a thing where I'd like to learn some kind of fairly out there instruments this next couple of years. So you can expect some more of that. Jenny Morrison's got a few. Jenny Morrison plays in Tef London, which is the bassist and singer, and is on our song Not Gonna Settle, and will be on future things we do too. She's actually got a few. Did you really live in a van by the sea just so you could surf, or is that a myth? It's actually worse. I lived in a tent by the sea one summer. So I moved to North Devon along with Pete, the drummer of Mr. Zippy. When I was in Mr. Zippy, we moved to Croyd, or Braunton at the time. Same thing, really. And we, yeah, I mean, it was partly because our friends were there, partly because of the lifestyle, and yeah, so I could get in the sea every day. And when I went away in 2005, I went away to tour a bit in Fandangle, came back in 2006, and my friends were setting up the Fresh Well camping site for the first year, and so they wanted some friends to help them, keep an eye on people there for the first year. So I lived in a tent there in the summer with my friend Kev, and it was great. We were right by the sea, and it was really fun. But Kev's air mattress never inflated on the first day. It was broken, and he'd never actually fixed it for the entire time. He got quite ill. And then on the day we actually packed the tent up, we took one of the poles out, and at the bottom of it was this pool of water in the tent with worms. I was just disgusting. Anyway, I'd do it again. But we used to live in the Fandangle bus, and that thing smelt worse. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a myth, and both of those things are true in many ways. How did you discover some of these ska bands you collabed with, and what did you find weird about the USA? Actually, nothing about the USA. Ever since we've been going out in Fandangle, I love the country, I love the States. The only thing I do find weird coming from the UK is that we're used to the NHS here, and the fact that people pay for people pay for healthcare, and some people can't afford to get things they really need sorted, which I think sucks. But that aside, no, I love the States. And so discovering bands, back in the old days when we had CDs, you'd look through the thanks list and discover other bands that way. And when I'd go back to the record shop, we'd pick up CDs of those bands and try them out. But now there's a compilation called What Do You Know About Ska Punk that Justin Ackerman does. It's always like 150 bands a time. And we were on I think our old version of Black and Blue was on the second one. And I had the first and second one, and we were listening to it a lot. It actually provided a lot of our listening when we were on the road trip in 2017 in America. But lots of the bands like Jenny's band Tef London and Rundown Creeps and the Main Street Sweep, bands like that, found them on there. Lots of them. And it's a cool comp. Go check it out. It's really cheap. Good way to discover new music. Luke M. Helsel, I hope I'm saying that right, buddy. Where do you live and do you like it there? Oh, that's easy. I'm in Glastonbury right now. I love it. It's I'm not necessarily a massive patriot of our country, but I love this town. I always come back to it and feel like home. Love this place. I have been living a bit in London as well with work, but I'm here at the moment because it just feels nice in lockdown. So I'm going to do two together. Duncan Godfrey has put, Pete's gone straight edge with question marks and exclamation marks. And Charlie Charlesworth has put, who is the most annoying, frustrating and hard to pin down musician in the broadest sense of the word you have ever worked with? Well, Charlie and Duncan I used to play in a band called Pete's Gone Straight Edge with. So this is when I was living on the coast. This goes back to that tent story. But before the tent, I was living in a flat with Charlie. We're kind of kindred spirits musically. And we kind of want an excuse to go to the pub and get free drinks. We formed this kind of ska covers band, ruining songs, called Pete's Gone Straight Edge, and we had this thing called the 5-pint rule. We'd only play a show after having a few pints. It was so silly, but it was good fun. But I don't know what your question is, Dunk. If your question is, should we do more, then probably, but not for the benefit of the public. And Charlie, well, Charlie knows the answer's him. I love him the bits face. Oh, I think things with Charlie, like Charlie has to earn his efficiency badges. But yeah, no, look for Pete's Constrated online. There's some stuff on YouTube, I think. It was fun. We even did a Friends or Rom cover. Linda Coolan, I work with Linda in cameras. Favourite memory from touring with your band? Oh, there's so many. Probably favourite memory of touring full stop was the tour we did when it was Real Big Fish, Suburban Legends, The Skints and New Riot. So New Riot was Fandangle version 2.0, I guess. That was just a tour of legends. It was like 30 mates on tour across Europe and the UK for 5 weeks, and it was so many good vibes. If you have me on Facebook, I think one of my top 5 pictures is a picture from the end of that tour with everyone in it. That was fun. Tom Humphreys, when you play some punk. So Tom is our old merch guy in Fandangle, and he used to sit at the back when we were playing ska punk and just shout, "Play some punk." That's my best Liverpool accent. Sorry. And yeah, that was funny enough, actually, part of the next project we're doing, there is a very fast element on the side. So we will be, mate. We will be. And you know that. Where are we? Nick Skeet does awesome reviews for bands. He's a dude. When was the first time you stopped and wondered what you got yourself into? And did you ever wonder if there was a way out? All right, well, that's easy. No, I've never, ever wanted a way out. Ever. Did I ever wonder if I'd taken on too much? Probably many times. But I kind of like that. I love stupidly big projects that take too much time. And just aim that a little bit higher. Like I always talk about dreaming big, and I think that's a part of it. Nah, never. Just do it bigger, faster, stronger. Joanne Dawn says pizza toppings, best and worst, pineapple or no. Okay, right. So I don't actually eat cheese. My favorite drink is a White Russian. And it doesn't give me a hangover, it gives me a milk over. Like, milk doesn't do me any favours, and cheese is no different. So I don't actually eat cheese. So every time I've had a pizza, it's been cheese-free or some weird, like, hoisin sauce or barbecue sauce or something. So I'm really sorry, I don't know. But there used to be a place, like I went with Chris in Torquay that did a hoisin duck-style pizza. And I can't remember if it was vegan or if it was actual meat. I don't remember, but that was amazing. And I also had a really good one in Slovenia that Rock, our old merch guy, took us to. I don't remember what it was, but it was huge. It was really nice. So, but pineapple or no, I'm all for pineapple on pizza. I know a million people are about to switch off watching right now. Sorry, I love pineapple. All right, we'll do one of these now. I'm gonna have to replace a word here, but so Tom Saunders, who's my Fandangle New Riot bandmate, says, "Where is the strangest place you've had a crap?" To be honest, I think I know the answer, but I think everyone else should know. Oh man, you know when I said don't make me regret this? I already regret it. We were driving back from Slam Dunk. Sorry, like if you don't want to hear this, just do something else for 30 seconds. Sorry in advance. He also asks, should I buy the soft toilet roll or the one that's brushed elegantly with aloe vera? always the nice one. Treat your sensitive parts. So yeah, we were driving back from Slam Dunk, 2008, and we were coming back home for a couple of days in the Fandangle bus, and I drove us overnight. It was a long journey. I think something was shut and we got stuck in traffic, and I was not feeling very well, and we got into Bristol and I had to pack my stuff. I think I was being dropped off at Bristol Temple Meads. Oh god, I can't believe I'm telling the story. And I was just not very feeling well. We all know that moment when you're not feeling very well, and it's what's that thing in Jurassic Park when you gotta go. And we were driving right up Temple Meads through the middle of Bristol, and let's just say that Adam jerking the bus as he took over driving with the brake and accelerator on purpose, and me not feeling very well and having a bit of a hangover, resulted in me having to do something out of the door of the bus in broad daylight. Not very proud of that one, but great. Thanks a lot. We're definitely regretting this. Let's move on to another one. Lee Nom Nom Burton says, who is the easiest artist to record with for the album, and who is the most difficult? Also, what's your favourite song on the LP? Oh, we've done that. But easiest artist to record on the album. God, I don't really know. Probably Tom, who just asked that horrendous question before, because we've been in bands together for years, and it was just really easy. I knew what to expect from him. The harmonies in the chorus are kind of the sort of harmonies we'd have done, the sort of melodies we used to do, and it was just it's quite easy. Trying to think of another one. Cara, who did the vocals on Protesting, did hers in about 2 takes. I never heard what she was going to sing, and she just rattled it off. And it's a storming vocal. Who's the most difficult? No one was really difficult. I loved working with everyone, but one of the most difficult was pinning Roger Lima down from Less Than Jake, just because he's a busy guy. His schedules didn't align. It took us a couple of years to get it, find a track that he wanted to do and get it done. But once he picked one and he had some time, it was over really quickly. And so he's the bassist on Got Your Back, which is the same song as just talking about with Tom. Sean Robertson says, what is your favourite potato? Oh, and Tobin Hill replied to this one and said, we're welcome when we're in Idaho to go and have potatoes with him or other food of our choice. And I'm down for that. Lovely. Yes, please. Love a potato. My favourite potato. Other than the one that's in my head that I call a brain, a roast potatoes probably. We don't like roast potatoes. Oh, I tell you what, actually, when I make food, which does happen occasionally, I do it, I don't know what it's called, but like get little new potatoes, boil them, put them on an oven pan, smack them on, and with a like masher, I guess, but only so they crack a bit, and put olive oil on them, and then like cracked salt and paprika, and a little bit of paprika, and put them in the oven so they kind of crisp up on top, and that's really nice. I think they're called like cracked hedgehogs or something. Really nice, really nice. That's my favourite type of potato. Charlie Gabriel. So Charlie sings in an awesome band called Codename Colin, who I produced the album of. And that was really good fun. I basically slept for about 3 hours for the entire week. Hey Andy, what's your favourite tuck? So Charlie and I were doing all the vocals late at night when we were recording their album, and at like 3 a.m. we were both so sleep deprived. But we kind of were just doing random noises down the mic. I had my talkback mic, and he was in the. We used a basketball court as a live room. It was crazy. But he was in the booth there, and we were just talking nonsense to each other because we were so tired. And it got to the point where there was just like quack noises, for no reason, just quack noises. And so my favourite duck is you, Charlie. You're my favourite duck, or a mallard, because it's the only actual breed I can think of. I actually really love ducks. They're one of my favourite animals. I think they're so cute, and they're like waddling their noise. And anyway, Josh Herskovitz. So Josh is the leader of the NPCs. He's the awesome dude in Backyard Superheroes. He put us up when we're on our travels. We do lots of stuff together, and we will in the future. Josh is ace. Let's see what he's got to say. If you could pick a band, past or present, to tour with, who would it be? Oh, he's actually got another question which we'll go on to. Pick a band to tour with. Can I tour with all the bands? That would be amazing. I'd like to tour with all the bands, please. Thank you. That'd be rad. The Cat Empire? I don't know. There's an old band called Jeffrey's Fan Club who I wish I got to see and was around. And also Edna's Goldfish. There's a couple of cool old bands like that I'd love to have been around. And Dancehall Crashers, bands like that I really like. I'd love to have seen them live every night for a tour. That would have been cool. See the energy. Josh also said, what's the best prank you've either done or had done to you or witnessed while on tour? Oh my God, there's so many. So going back to Chris, so we used to in Fandangle have food fights between the two tour bands with other bands we were in, other bands we were touring with. And we had this night with them where we had a food fight, and I can't remember what happened, but we were in a service station because we were sleeping in service stations quite often. We had bunks on our bus. I think we had a tent in their van with their van. I don't know. Anyway, as cheap as possible. And I think I put a tin of ravioli in the gutter above their windscreen. And I think we were leaving the services, and I think they had to brake. I think they were paying attention to throwing stuff back at us or something, and there was a truck going by, and they had to slam on the brakes. Anyway, I think slamming on the brakes obviously moved the ravioli, and then they went down the lane. Oh, there's a picture somewhere online. If I can find it, I'll put it in now. But let's just say there's a picture of their van with ravioli everywhere, and getting it off the windscreen was not easy. Mr. Shiraz got us good. I can't remember if they said they were gonna smear someone's entire bunk with chocolate spread, and I think they did it. But when we finished a tour with Mr. Shiraz, they damn it, they managed to get some fish into our ventilation in the van, and we didn't discover it for a while, and the smell was vomit-inducing. In fact, the only smell I've ever smelt worse was we were playing in Uri in a club in Austria somewhere, and I think the toilets had gone, and the smell of ammonia in the toilet was so bad you literally had to hold your breath as you were weeing. You couldn't be in there for very long, and I went in, I coughed, and I breathed in, and I was sick, and I was about 5 seconds before I went on stage. That was great. What a horrible story. Paul Hibbert, oh my God. Paul, I'm going to come back to yours, because there's just many reasons why I'm going to come back to yours. Terry Smith, who runs Riot Squad Media, she's really awesome. We did an interview with them recently. It's on YouTube if you want to check it out. They're also doing a really cool festival called Camp Punksylvania. Check that out if you're on the East Coast of America. It'll be awesome. I think it's this autumn or this fall. I don't know what you think. There's best musician to have worked with, best edit story. Oh, so Terry's also from the world of TV. So edit story, it's going to be this one because I'm going to have to watch this back. I see my own face squirming with some of the questions. Paul Hibbert. Best music musician to have worked with. Chris from RX Bandits, the drummer, was just unbelievable. He flipped the song 11th Hour on its head in a way I could never have imagined, and that was insane. So probably Chris, but there's so many others. So that's just one of many. Or she also asked, what was the airspeed of an unladen swallow? I have no idea. Let's just say fast. Fast is an official measurement. Fast. How are we doing on the time? I have to switch the camera over in a minute. This is a long one. Glenn, what was your most embarrassing... Glenn Luscombe. Glenn is the guy that had never sung before and sung on our album. Bless him. What is your most embarrassing moment on stage during a show? Rubik Fish Tour, Aylesbury, 2006. We started the tour in Salisbury, and I got a fever, and I wasn't feeling very well, and we were about to go on stage in Aylesbury the next day, and I was not feeling very well. I'm fine on stage, by the way. It's just bringing up great stories. I was like, I said to our crew, I was like, oh, how long have we got to go on? Oh, like 5 minutes. I was like, cool, I'm going to go to the loo, I'll be ready. Go to the loo, literally just sat down on the loo. And I heard the crowd screaming. And we used to put our tech Josh up on stage dressed as a bear right before we went on that tour. And our guitar tech comes flying in, Liam, and just with my bass. And he's like, dude, you're on stage. I'm just like, you know when you're just in that situation where you cannot... there's nothing about the situation that you can change right at that very second. So 30 seconds or a minute later, I get my bass and I'm running on stage to 1,200 people. Very aware of what I just done because Adam's there going, yeah, sorry, our bassist's got the shit. And I didn't, I just needed the loop. But yeah, I had 1,200 people cheering me on for that. And then everyone wrote on our MySpace wall the next day, hope your bass is feeling better and his tummy's better, which was lovely. It was pretty embarrassing at the time, but you've got to own it, haven't you? I think I went up to the mic and I was like, feeling better now, thank you. What else did he say? Ever written a song you thought was not as good as it could be, but when you played it to people, loved it, so you changed your mind? Yeah, actually, Times went through a few iterations. It was something that me and Rich worked on together. It came from an acoustic song he'd had an idea of years ago, and then it kind of I built up into a song, and then I was never that sure it was that strong. And getting Alex from Sponge to sing on it was a pretty last minute decision. And right up to the last minute, I was constantly trying to kind of figure it out. I think it's because the acoustic on it was still the DI track; it wasn't a proper acoustic. But yeah, people love that song, and I love that song now. It's really like it's raucous and smooth. Yeah, I really dig it. That one basically. Right, let's quickly stop the cameras, and I'm just going to start them again so they don't run out when I'm halfway through telling you one of the world's worst stories. Right, let's continue. Steve Douglas. So Steve is on the album. He's now in the Resignator. Steve is one of the founding members of the band Gua, by the way. Such a cool guy. Have you ever drawn a penis on a band member's face with Sharpie because he fell asleep with his shoes on? Because I might have. I bet you have. Seen as Gua used to literally squirt fake blood onto the crowd, and still do. Yeah, Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I used to play with Sharpies a lot on tour. We used to draw on each other a lot with them and various friends of ours, like Matt and his and stuff. There's lots of photos of that on Facebook. There's one in Upbeat All Stars where we played in Prague. Was it Prague? We played somewhere. I went to bed early and the like Nick, Christy, and Ernie went out that night. And Nick came back in the early hours and woke me up because he'd had the best night ever. And then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I basically, I invited Ernie to play noughts and crosses with Nick on his face with Sharpie with me, which we did. And then I still couldn't sleep, so I literally drew an entire mural on Nick's leg in Sharpie that actually he couldn't wash off for the rest of the tour. If I can find a picture of that, I'll put it in. Yeah. Fandangle have a bit of a reputation as a touring band with pranks and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot. Right, okay, Paul Hibbert, I'll do your question. Let's do it. So Paul Hibbert runs Hibbert Home Tech on YouTube. He's the singer of Mr. Wolf. His bassist Adam actually. We used to play a game called Fire Cup, which is a terrible game where you get a polystyrene cup, fill it with Bacardi Riga, set it light, and then pass it around in a circle till someone literally just has to run off with it. Because it's burnt through the cup. And yeah, Adam ended up with a scarred arm from that game. I'm sure he'll come up in the comments and tell you all about it. So, Paul Hibbert's question. How did the members of Fandangle masturbate when on tour? Did they have to wait until a truck stop bathroom, or did they just do it on the tour bus in front of the rest of the gang? Kiss, kiss, kiss. Lovely. And then Tom, our Tom, actually responded to him saying 2 words, crusty socks, but I'll let Andy answer that one. Thanks, Tom. Jesus Christ. Regret everything with Ask Me Anything. So yeah, again, if you don't want to hear the answer to this, then go make a cup of tea for 30 seconds. You have all of my apologies, but I did say I'd do all of these. It's pretty much truck stop bathrooms. We used to sleep in our bunks in service stations all the time because it was cheap in hotels, and we were saving up for things like flying to America or whatever. And so we used to shower a lot in the services, the showers and services. I think you can probably guess the answer to that one. Although I'm sure all of your options have probably happened at some point in that horrific bus. Actually, there's a funny story. Do you want the story? I won't say who because the band member will absolutely hate me. So I'm not going to say your name. But one of our band members had never done that on the road. How can I make this family friendly? Never done that on the road. And we were getting the ferry to Calais, I think, in the middle of the night. And he was finally persuaded to do so. And went into a toilet cubicle with his laptop and starts doing what he was doing. And didn't lock it. And someone walked in. And I don't think he ever did that again. Anyway, onwards. Claire Hughes says, she's a cool friend of mine, that says, if you could invite 5 famous people, dead or alive, around for a meal or drinks, who would they be and why? Oh, that's really hard. I probably don't have the camera time for this, but Rick Mail would be one of them because I just think would be fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I'm trying to think of ones who are just... There's loads of people in our scene who I've had the joy of speaking to, like Jim Lindberg from Pennywise via Facebook a little bit when I was putting the first one together. But probably some people like him. I just think it'd be a really interesting conversation. I think that to be honest, once I get going, I won't be able to limit it to 5. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'd love to meet Rick Mail would be top of the list. I think he'd be amazing and so much fun. And you can imagine his interactions with all the other guests would be sick. Luke Asher, what's your favourite horn solo from any ska song, be it trumpet, trombone or sax? Okay, probably Harry to Explain by the Cat Empire. Harry's playing is wild. It reminds me a bit of the Mad Caddies. Actually, there's tell you what my favourite brass riffs or horn riffs are. Is it Game Show by Mad Caddies? It's amazing. And there's a song called One More Time by Jeffrey's Fan Club. That horn line it stays in my head. It's like an earworm. It lives rent free in my head. Sorry that I'm reading it from these, but it'd be tricky otherwise. Oh Jesus Christ! Neil Morris, who's one of Sponge's crew. Would you rather have balls for a penis or penis for balls? This reminds me of when I did that thing with Social Distance Warriors the other day, and they asked if you'd rather have tongues on your toes or toes on your tongues. I don't know, mate. Neither, to be quite honest. I don't even know how to answer that. Probably the first. Balls for penis for balls. Won't have penis for balls, then you can have 3. Be like that character in the Mighty Boosh, the spider. Okay. I've promised that there's other normal ones amongst us as well. Same from Neil. If you were going to go on a really long walk and needed to poop, would you go for your walk and risk it, or take the risk to have that far superior post-exercise poop? No, always before. Always with the planning. Okay, back to normal questions, thank God. On Instagram, JL Scarpunk. How was production? Were you organised and burned through them all, or was it an absolute messy hell on earth? Both. No. It wasn't a quick process. When it got to... It was pretty easy going, doing all the remote stuff and putting stuff together. When not the remote stuff, the travel stuff. When it went remote during lockdown, and then pretty much the end of August, start of September, when I reached out to a ton of people just to see how far I could push it. The admin involved with reaching out to so many people, organising files individually for every person, and getting it back in and getting it in, EQ'd in the mixes and stuff, that took forever. I haven't really stopped since the start of September, if I'm honest. I've been going pretty much strong since then. So, messy hell on earth, but more in the case of my sleep pattern. It's pretty organised other than that. Is that all of them? What else have we got? I keep seeing the potato request. No, that's all of them. Oh, no, there is one more. Oh, damn. Jamie says, if you created a dance move to any of the tracks on the album, which track would it be? What would the move look like? Can you demonstrate? Jesus Christ. I'm a really awkward dancer if I don't have a guitar on me, so no, frankly. But what track would it be? I mean, it could be any of the tracks. I feel like some of them are probably Times, probably the most danceable. Yeah, some of them are more danceable than others. There's this thing, I can't click my fingers. So I guess I'd like a dance that involves the crowd or whoever's dancing with me clicking their fingers at the same time I do. So it would just be this. And then me with a smug face, because I can then suddenly click my fingers, or appear to, by the magic of audio. That is all of them. So why did I do this? It was fun. Right, well, that's all of them. Thank you so much for your questions. It was really good fun to do. Do excuse me living inside my bit of paper for the entire thing. I didn't wear my glasses, so I had to do that to actually read them. But thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please do like and subscribe if you enjoy what we do. There will be plenty more to come. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and stay safe. Catch you next time. Peace out. Big love.
I've nothing left to lose, so I'll just march along. On the Capitol I'm marching. Will I be marching on?